りしない？
でもうちがつけてるよ。
パジャマを履くでしょ、パンツ履いちゃダメっていうの。
そういう人見たことある。
それ自分がってことでしょ？奥さんにも共有するってこと？
いや
びっくりしたダメって言うのって
違う女の人はいいの、でも男の子はで男の人
子供に？
子供も全部パンツ履いちゃダメっていうの。
なんでダメなの？
Yeah, why? I mean, it's
Is it
you
all
need
boys in
fresh
England?
air. I don't know. I didn't ask them, but you know, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, you need to have a bit of fresh air.
らしいですね。
Difference between housework role for a couple in Japan versus the UK. I don't really know because I haven't lived in the UK as a couple ever, and I left when I was 21.
Yeah.
And in Japan, I was only there for a few years, but I don't know. The stereotype is that maybe men in Japan don't do so much.
I remember you said your friend you visited, maybe your boss.
No, it was a friend of mine who was on like the EU Japanese language thing in Japan. So he did a homestay with a Japanese family.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I think you know the father of that family, when he'd come home from work, in the genkan he'd just drop his bag, take his shoes off, drop his trousers, leave everything there and walk off into the house, and his wife had to come up and pick everything up and put it away, and we're like, really? Is it true? Does it happen? That's what he told me. I don't know whether it's true or not, but
it could be. 結構年配の人とか。What about the husband in England? They don't take clothes off.
I think there's a lot more equality in the UK about this type of thing. I mean, of course, there's exceptions, and we couple somewhere where the husband is like that, and the wife goes around picking everything up. I'm sure there's lots of cases like that. But in general, that type of thing would be, I think, less common. I think there's more equality in that sense between the sexes in the UK or in Western countries than my perception of what the situation is like in Japan. In business as well, I mean, it's a long time since I was working in Japan, more than 20 years, but I didn't meet any senior ladies. In my company, for example, the majority of staff were female, and they did very important jobs, and they did them very well. They kept the place running, but all the senior jobs were men. And I think, without exception, all of the customers that I met in Japanese companies or companies in Japan, I can probably remember one senior lady that I met, but she was working for a foreign company. So in the West, I mean, it's still not equal, but it was much more than that. I mean, even when, more than 20 years ago in my company in other countries, there were senior women, and now there are more. Not 50-50, but I don't have the statistics, but I would think, the most senior roles, maybe 30%, maybe more.
Well, that's why you said that you feel sorry for Japanese ladies.
I mean, you told me about this as well, where if a lady working for a company gets married, is she sort of expected to stop working, or maybe gets moved to a different department?
なんか私が働いてた会社ではその同じ部署で結婚した場合、女性の方がどっかに行かされたりとか、辞めなきゃいけなかったりとかで辞めるパターンも多かったし、で女の人で上のポジション、シニアポジションの人は大体、結婚してないか子供がいないかだった。
There's other countries where I've worked which have, I think, a similar problem. I'm not going to say where, but Japan's not the only country like this.
子育てでなんか日本とイギリスの違いみたいのを感じますか？
I think in Japan, wife tend to sleep with the kids until kids are a little bit bigger. sometimes 6 or 7. But in England,
ありえない。
No. Again, I'm sure maybe there's somebody that does it, or maybe they only have one room or something. But generally speaking, no, it won't happen. So I think that in the UK or in the West, I think probably the practice is to put kids in their own bed, in their own room earlier. For example, when Tom was born, our first child, we had a spare room. We had a room which could be his. So after a few months, like 3 months or something, I wanted to put him in there, but we didn't, right? I mean, for quite a long time. And she doesn't remember me getting up to give him milk like twice every night or something, or once every night. You don't remember, right?
No, I think we put him in a different room, but he was coming in to our bed. 大きくなってから、それは1歳歩けるようになってから、もうベイビーコットって言ってベイビーベッドから出て、私たちのベッドに he was coming in.
Yeah, but that was when he was old enough to climb out.
Yeah.
Right. So that must be about a year, right? But I think he was in our room for quite a long time. 6 months, 9 months or something.
かもしれない。最初の子はなんかね、一人で寝かせるのかわいそうで日本人だから。
泣いちゃうしね。
そうそう。子育てで一番大変だったこと。
Tomoya.
長男。
何が大変だったの？
Tomoya, yeah. When we had Tomoya, I mean, obviously he's the first one, and everything's new. It seemed like, I think for everybody, having the first child is like your world is turned upside down. It's a huge thing. When we had Jun, it was another big thing, but not quite as big. When we had Kai, it was actually quite easy. When we had Kazu, it's like, well, that was easy. And then when we had the girls, it was easy again. Apart from the fact that there was 2 of them, so it was double the increment.
本当なんか精神的に一番大変だったのは長男が生まれた時。No, I don't know why. It was most difficult time, when Tomoya was small.
By far, most
だから長
difficult.
男が1歳ぐらいの時が一番大変。
性格がなんかこう落ち着か
い
ないとかじゃなくて。
いい子ですごい泣きもしないで。He was a
very good
easy
baby. If you ask me which was more difficult, 1 year with just Tomoya or 1 year with Tom, Jun, Kai, and Kazu, I'd say 1 year with just Tomoya.
Even including Ria and Riko, I think the first year with Tomoya was the most difficult time.
Yeah, I mean there's economies of scale, and so if you're cooking dinner, you're cooking dinner. You just cook more food, or but even traveling was a bit tiring. Sometimes traveling with 4, when you've got a flight connection through Charles de Gaulle and you're late for the plane and you're rushing, carrying 2 prams, 4 suitcases, 4 children.
肉体的には大変だけど4人も5人も6人も言っていて、でもなんか精神的になんかプレッシャーがあって大変なのはね、the psychological pressure was much more with just Tomoya。1人目の時はまだおしゃれなホテルに行って食事したりとか、それもプラン子供連れてそれをやってたんだけど、もう2人目からはそんなこと無理だから家で食べるとかピクニックするとか、なんか子供の好きなことをするようになる。
もう変わったんですね。
だから週末にどっかおしゃれなところでショッピングじゃなくて、もうビーチで
子供中心
泥まみれみたいな。それが1人目の時はまだできてなかったから、
諦めてなかったっていう。
だからちょっと辛いのがあったのかもしれない。
2人とも同じポリシー持ってるんですか？それともよく違ったりする？
なんか私たちこんな6人もいるのにポリシーがね、決まったポリシーがない。We don't discuss policy.
Not really.
What's your policy?
Common sense. I don't know. I don't think we have any. I mean, nothing unusual, right?
For me, I want our children to try everything they could, to find the things they. So I like to give them opportunity. まあでも感謝することとかは to thank others. I tell the kids because
Yeah.
they're lucky to have these things and they have to be thankful.
I tell you one difference, something we don't necessarily agree on, is when they should go to bed. I always encourage them to go to bed earlier. And they always say to me, and the kids say to me, no, in Japan kids don't go to sleep until 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, or this is normal, or I don't need sleep, I'm getting enough sleep. Right? And I really don't agree with that. I mean, I think the kids should be in bed at a sensible time. I mean,
Well, I agree with you.
Leah and Nico at the moment, I think they should be in bed at 8 o'clock. Last night was after 9. Kai, I think sometimes wants to stay up too late.
Yeah.
And the next day he's going to be sleepy.
But I think some of the English kids, they go to bed too early. 子供と一緒にご飯を食べないよね。大体。
あ、そうなんだ。
子供だけ食べさせて。How did we overcome difference?
Yeah, we have a lot of debates and disagreements. I think for us, we've always been foreigners. So together, we've never lived in Japan, we've never lived in the UK. So we've always been in a third country. So in a way, it's exciting, but I think it would be good for our family and for our kids if they also spent some time living in one of their home countries. And we haven't done that. So culturally, I don't know, we're a bit unusual. I asked Jun, for example, where do you think of as home? And he couldn't really answer it. I mean, he'd been in Spain, we'd been in Spain for 7 or 8 years at the time. And I asked him, does Spain feel like home? Not really. I mean, it's probably as much as home as anywhere else, but the other places we've lived, I mean, he was born in Hong Kong, but Hong Kong's not home. I think the fact that we have always been in foreign culture anyway, alien culture to us, I think we don't really argue too much about cultural differences. Sometimes I wear my shoes to come into the house and I get shouted at. Suddenly everybody's eating natto and I don't like it.
でも本当に誰かも言ってたんだけど、もう違う国に住んでるし、私たちももうずっと違う国に住んでるから、文化の違いっていうよりはもう本当お互いの性格の違いとか、まあ靴を履かない、靴を履いて上がるっていうのはもう毎回ねイラッとくるけど、靴を履いてここ歩いてるのね。でちょっと靴履いてなんで歩いてるのって言ったらもうすぐ外に出るからって、そういうのはちょっとイラッとするけど、そうだね。We fight a lot じゃん。We argue a lot, fight a lot。でもそれがまあストレス解消になるのかもしれない。ずっと黙っててね、イライラが爆
Well,
発。
we don't have a game camera here, right?
ありがとうございました。
I've got to go and pick up the kids.
はい。
So
これからも国際カップルにこういうインタビューとかをしてみたいと思うので、もし何か聞いてみたい質問とかがあったらぜひコメント欄で質問をしてください。ではよろしくお願いします。バイ。